good?
Yeah,
What's good, my brother?
yeah.
Peace, peace.
I was having a little technical shit. Can you hear me
Yeah,
all right?
yeah. I can
Okay,
hear you
good,
on my
good, good,
side.
good. Everybody, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited about this one. Um, this brother's been a part of this shit. Frontline soldier, casual wounds and everything, scars, battle scars to show for this shit. I know that, and been in this for a long time on a number of different levels, man. I mean, A&R. I mean, I'm just tossing shit out there. I'm sure you've probably done it, managing, fucking, and you're an artist, radio,
And thank you, bro.
journalism, everything. So, um, and we don't hear about people that are doing shit like this. We hear about the legends or whatever, but the, as my man Imsky says, the essential workers that are here doing this shit. So it's my pleasure to have you on, man. Salute, big up to
Man,
GQ Tha
thank
Teacha.
you, bro. Thank you. It's an honor for you to have me on here, bro. I'm a big fan of your work as well, too.
No, I appreciate you, man, and we're gonna get into it. And this is cool because, like, you've been, we've been vibing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years
Man,
on
we've
the,
been following each other for a while.
but we've never chopped it up, like really sat down and had a chance to build. So I have a lot of questions and just get to, really get to know each other, man. So I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you again.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thanks.
All right. So I don't know shit. I don't know. I didn't go searching for any interviews or anything that you may have done. I was just like, let me just see, let me try to find out what my friend is about. You know what I'm saying? So early shit, man. When you sent me the text, you were like, born in Brooklyn, in Belize, I believe. And so
Yeah.
what's the early beginnings for you as far as let's get into it.
I was born in New York, Brooklyn, Brownsville, but I left New York when I was a kid, and me and my sister, we grew up in Belize, Central America. So when I was in Belize, I really wasn't into hip hop then. You know what I'm saying? I was more into reggae, dancehall music. So
How old were you?
I was a kid. I was, kid, man. It's like I grew up on the Lucky Dube, Sister Carol, Buja Banton, Terra Fabulous, Lieutenant Stitchy, Admiral Bailey, Tiger, Ninja Man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then I came back to New York in the 80s. And then when I came back to New York, that's when I got into the hip hop. I got into the KRS-Ones and the Tribes and the Gangstarz and the Pete Rocks and all these different cats, you know what I'm saying? And then when I left New York, I came to Chicago in 92. And I've been here in Chicago ever since for like 31 years. This is like my third home now.
Wow. And, it's funny. I'm glad you cleared this up because, just seeing you online, I just assumed you were from Chicago originally and stuff like that. And so I didn't know about the other part, which is important too.
What up, Gensu Dean? Salute.
Yeah, big up Gensu Dean. Big up everybody in the chat. If you got questions, please use the questions feature below. There's a question mark too. We can pull it up and that way everybody can see it. So you got into you moved to Chicago and got into the hip hop there, right?
New York and Chicago.
New York. So you moved back to New York, then to Chicago. Mm-hmm. All right. So frame it for me. When you get back to New York, what was popping off then as far as like the culture wise?
Ooh.
Like what was your first oh, what's this? Because you're down in Central America, and it's like total different vibe, right? I mean,
yeah. When I came back to NY in my teens, that's when the whole the rooftop and the tunnels and all that stuff was popping off there. Then, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started getting used to that. The whole Decepticons and the low lights. I started getting used to all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then my family. I have some family here in Chicago, and I had to come to Chicago to be with them because of health issue and stuff like that. So that's when I left New York and came to Chicago. If I was to go back to Brooklyn now, man, I probably wouldn't even recognize Brooklyn now because it's been 30 plus years since I've been here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even recognize Brooklyn. But this here, Chicago is like my third home.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Brooklyn's changed.
You know,
Brooklyn's changed anyway. Like there's oxygen bars on every corner now, you know, in a lot of spots in Brooklyn. So it's a different, you know, it's a different Brooklyn.
So when I came to Chicago in '92, you know, I don't know if I show you the clip of me when I used to be rapping on the seats on the trains out here. Yeah, I used to rap, bro. I was trying to find me jobs out here in Chicago, and I couldn't find no jobs. It was rough, man. And then one time I saw this R&B group out here called 3-Piece. I saw them made like $30, $40 on the train just singing. So I walked up on them, and I introduced myself to them, and I kicked some reggae dancehall for them because, you know, that's my thing. I chat reggae. And they was like, dude, where you from? I'm like, I'm from New York and Belize. They're like, man, you know, you can make some money doing that, just singing on the train. So I was like, word? They're like, yeah. I like, because yeah, I see y'all made like damn near $40 off of one cart. So I tried it. It didn't work. I was kind of new to it, man. So I had to kind of get used to it. Then I saw this guy on the train. He was telling his jokes on the train. He made $50 just roasting people, telling comedy on the train and roasting people. So I walk up on him. I was like, man, bro, you make me want to really come out here and start singing on these trains and start making my money. And he looked at me. He was like, yo, so what you do? I was like, I rap. He like, you got an accent. I'm like, yeah. They're like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Belize in New York. So he like, man, let me hear you kick something. So I kicked something for him. He looked at me, was like, dude, you'll make a lot of money on this train doing this shit. So he asked me, he's like, yo, so what's your name, bro? I was like, you know, my name GQ Tha Teacha. I was like, man, what's your name? He's like, my name Bernie Mac.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yes.
Early days.
Yeah.
Early days.
And when I saw Bernie Mac made, you know, he told his joke on the train, then he pulled it back, he pulled his little paper bag out to get his little money. And then I used to see him at this club called Cotton Club out here in Chicago. And all jokes aside, this before he became a big time actor and blew up, man. I used to see this guy on the train. So he the one kind of like inspired me to come out here and hustle on the train and make my money and stuff like that.
Wow, rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Yeah, rest in peace to God, man.
Yo, so did you ever catch up with him or anything after that? See him or anything after that?
Yeah. I saw them a few times. I saw them at this club. It used to be this club out here called Cotton Club. And it used to be this club out here called All Jokes Aside. And I used to see Bernie Mac, Leon Rogers, D. Ray Davis, Tony Schofield, rest in peace, Big Daddy Woo Woo, Corey Holcomb. I came up with all them dudes, man. You know, all of us came together, you know what I'm saying? So they would, you know, I gotta like rock with them dudes, but also the cat that introduced me to Chicago hip hop, it was these two dudes out here, man. Duro from Who Got Big Lips and my man Cassius D from Zulu Nation. And they the one that introduced me. Duro kind of introduced me to my brother, his name Mike Shane. Mike Shane from New York, but he came to Chicago in the 80s. And he used to work for this newspaper out here called Fly Paper, which was a hip hop paper. And Mike Shane took me under his wing and he introduced me to this guy out here. He's a legend out here, rest in peace, Pink House. You probably heard me mention Pink House name a few times.
Heard you mention the name, yeah.
Yeah. Pink House, the one that took, Pink House used to work for KKC, WKKC here in Chicago. And then after that, he went and worked for 106 Jams radio station, which I used to work for. And I used to do street promotion and marketing for 106 Jams. But it was through Pink House that I was able to meet Chuck D and DJ Premier and Large Professor and MC Light and all these cats. So, you know, a lot of cats be asking me like, dude, how you be knowing all these cats, man? All these music people. Well, I met them in the early 90s through Pink House. You know, rest in peace, Pink House. You know what I'm saying? That's like my mentor. All this stuff that I learned, like connecting artists with certain artists and certain artists with certain producers and stuff, I learned that from two people, man. Pink House and rest in peace, Clarence Avant, the Godfather, the Black Godfather of music. You know what I'm saying? Them the two people I patted my stuff up, you know, after.
Wow. So let's go. Let's go back, because I do want to just, when you got to Chicago, because I like to frame the years, like what was bubbling for you, and then also what was like the main, you know, you were doing your kind of, you know, your dancehall thing, but then like what was like, yeah, I gotta, because everybody back in the day, we were all kind of doing some type of music or something, you know. I mean, a lot of us were, right? Like it was just what we did.
Mm-hmm.
So like, first of all, you get to Chicago, and what's the scene like as far as like, and what's you know?
Well, first thing, when I first came to Chicago in '92, bro, I almost got my ass whipped out here because, you know, I'm new to Chicago, man. So I didn't know, you know, they took it real serious as far as you wearing your hat broke off to the right and your hat broke off to the left. You know what I'm saying? You got your hat broke off to the right out here. They assume you folks, you know, the gangs out here, GD. You got your hat broke off to the left out here. They assume you're a Stone or a Vice Lord or MC or whatever. So I had my hat broke off to the right, but you know, I don't know shit, dude. I'm new to Chicago. So dude, you know, some couple of cats was looking at me all crazy with like, man, nigga, where you from? Like, nigga, you know where you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you need to straighten your head up. And I was like, oh shit. So one of them started hearing me talk, and they heard the accent. So when they heard the accent, they like, man, you ain't. I take it you ain't from here. I'm like, nah, I'm new to the city. Like I could tell, because I could tell from your accent. You know what I'm saying? You ain't from there. They're like, dude, you gonna have to straighten your head up, man. And
damn.
Yeah, they
Welcome
like,
to Chicago.
Yeah, and
Hello.
you know, he told me that, and he had the blicky on him too when he told me that. So I was like, okay, I don't want no problem. You know what I'm saying? So we doing a promo for Nas. I'm gonna bring this story up. We doing a promo for Nas. I was with Pink House and 106 Jams, and this when Illmatic first came out. And I was with my boy DJ 33 and the Third, and we was at my man, rest in peace, Dedrick Jones, his record store, Track One Records, on 71st and Jeffrey here in Chicago. And I was with 33 and the Third, my brother Ronadeb, who I work with at 24/7 HH, and I want to say I think Faith Newman was with us too.
Salute to her. She's on the page. Big up.
Oh yeah, legend. You know what I'm saying? So Nas come up at 71st and Jeffrey with his hat broke off to the left. I told Nas, me and 33 and the Third was looking at Nas. We were telling Nas like, bro, this ain't New York, man. This Chicago now. You're gonna have to fix your head up. This the chip tooth Nas, the young Nas. You know what I'm saying? Nas was like, man, son, I ain't tripping about that, man. I'm God body. I'm like, yeah, I understand that. I understand that, bro. But you know, I was telling him like, I told him and I told Faith Newman like, hey, Faith, talk to your boy, man. Tell him he got to straighten his cap up straight. But he was like, man, I ain't scared. I'm God body. So I'm like, okay. So he asked me, he was like, yo, son, you know anywhere around here got like Philly blunts? I'm trying to roll up. So I'm like, you know, I told him like, yeah, I know a spot, you know, I know a store where we could grab some Philly blunts. So I'm walking with him, and while I'm walking with him, I see niggas looking at us all crazy and shit like that. And I'm looking at my boy 33 and the Third, and I'm looking at Ronadell. I'm like, dude, Nas, I ain't trying to be rude, dude. Like, I love you. I'm a fan of your music, bro. But, bro, you need to fix your head up, man. Nas like, man, look here. He lifted his shirt. My man lifted his shirt up. He had that blicky on him, man. He was like, man, son, I ain't, hey, I'm God body. I'm like, oh, okay. Enough said, yeah. That's when I was like, oh, this dude real, man. You know what I'm saying? He walked.
It's important that you said chip tooth Nas, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, before he got all, diva-ish, man, and stuff like that, and blew up,
Yeah, because that was a different, that was a hungry Nas, a different Nas, you know what I'm saying? And about it Nas, you know what I'm saying? So,
but yeah, man. But yeah, man, my boy Duro, one that introduced me to Chicago hip hop. If it wasn't for Duro and Pink House, I would have never known DJ Premier or Chuck D or George Daniels, who was like the godfather of the mom and pop stores here in Chicago. I would have never met. I know you're familiar with the actor Wood Harris.
Of course, big fan.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could tell you the story, man. I've been on Wood Harris for 31 years, bro. I remember when Wood Harris wasn't even an actor. He was a rapper first. He used to be in this rap group. I forgot the name of the rap group that he used to be in, but yeah, Wood used to be a rapper. And I don't know if you're familiar with this other actor named Freddie Rodriguez.
What was he in? Anything I wrote down?
Yeah. He's the Puerto Rican kid that played in Dead President with Lorenz Tate.
Okay.
He was Lorenz. Yeah, he was Lorenz Tate right hand man in Dead President. Believe it or not, Lorenz Tate used to be an MC.
What?
And a break dancer before he became an actor. Both him and Wood Harris both used to be rappers, man, and break dancers before they got in to the, into the acting and stuff like that. And both of them got skills on the mic.
Word? What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It seems like a started out, doing that first. You know what I mean? And again, it goes back to what we all kind of just, everybody, a lot of people were emceeing or doing something in the culture and stuff like that. So did you do anything else? I mean, I know you spit and stuff like that. Did you dance or DJ or anything like that?
No. My main thing was I checked dancehall, I beatbox, and I graffiti. I used to be with this graffiti crew here in Chicago called Prophets of Rage, POR. And I used to write cast, you know what I'm saying? And I did promo with a lot of artists when I was working with 106 Jams with Pink House. We worked with Scarface, we worked with Big Mike, we worked with Tupac, rest in peace. We worked with Eazy-E, we worked with Common. I could tell you a story about Common, man. The Common I'm talking about was this before he got up with Erykah Badu and he turned into the American darling. I'm talking about this Common was the gangbang. Rashid.
Right.
Common Sense, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm with this dude, right? I'm with him and his boy, Derek Dudley. I think Derek Dudley used to manage him. I don't know if he still manage him, but this one he used to be with Relativity Records. You know what I'm saying? And this was around the time when I think One Day It All Makes Sense dropped. I was with him, and this around the time him and DOS Effects was beefing with each other, man. They got into a little beef and stuff like that. So I'm with Common. Somebody put it in his ear like, man, DOS Effects in Chicago. I was like, oh snap, some shit about to go down.
Oh,
Common was like, man, let's go to the show where DOS Effects at. So I'm talking to my homie 33 and the third, right? So while I'm talking to him, I just so happen to look out the corner of my eyes. I see Common, he come up in there with like 5-6 niggas, man. All of them on some, they on some wild shit. I see him walk straight up to what's his name? I think it was either Scoob or Dre's from Doc Effect. Some couple of words got exchanged between them. I see Common point his finger in his face. They exchanged the words. A few minutes later, all I heard was a stove mark. Common punched. Yeah, punched Scuba. I don't know if it was Scuba or Dre, but he sucked him in their jaw, man, and the fight broke out. Yeah,
before this was before Cats was all, you know what I'm saying? Before the money came in, and Cats was different, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas was different, you know what I mean? Everybody was
yeah, they
different.
was hungry. Yeah, they was hungry, man. But the thing about Common, I love Common. Me and Common always stay in touch with each other. Even up to now, we stayed in touch with each other. And low key, I was to be on his album on One Day It All Makes Sense. I was to be on that album. Me and my man Bam Ski, the Bigot, we did a joint on there with I know you're familiar with the producer Doug Inf.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Doug Inf did the joint, and we did it at the CRC studio here in Chicago, and it was to be on One Day It All Makes Sense, but because of politics, Relativity Records, man, they shelved it. I don't know why they shelved it, but I think my boy Doug Inf, I think he still got that joint, man. You know what I'm saying? But Relativity man, bruh, my man from that used to work for Relativity Records, this A&R dude named Peter Kang. He was one of the him and Dante Ross was like two of my favorite A&Rs that I ever like been around, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing now. The last I heard he was into like real estate. You know, he was like into real estate or something like that. But that's the story I could tell you about Common though, bro.
That's wild, yo. So real quick, man, I want to thank you halfway through the show, and I want to salute everybody joining in. You got our man GQ Tha Teacha, just telling a lot of history and stuff like that. And this is the important stuff, man. Like, first of all, our culture really isn't documented very well. And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of rumors, actually, you know. And so it's to me, it's a good thing that like we have this media to be able to like talk and discuss, clear the air, and share stuff that people, you know, maybe didn't know and stuff. And this is great. So, and it's really important that like, yo, there's a lot of people that have participated in this culture, not just the names we hear about on TV. Like people have done stuff and been around. And so I really just appreciate you, you know, like sharing. So I would like to know what the Chicago hip hop scene is like or was like, because only people I'm familiar with, forgive my ignorance, is Common, Twista, and Vic Spencer, right?
Vic Spencer, yeah, Vic Spencer. That's my Well,
I'm just
I got a
not
good
familiar with like other stuff that's, you know, like, so what was it like?
Well,
when I saw Common, when I first saw Common, when he first came out, I thought he was from New York. You know what I'm saying? So what was it? What was the scene like back in the, you know, 90s or whatever? Well, just you know, when you got there. I mean, just in general.
You know what? Not to cut you off, it's two Vics out here, Vic Mensa and Vic Spencer.
Right.
I got a good relationship with both the Vic Spencer and Vic Mensa, but I work more with Vic Spencer because, you know, Vic Spencer was like, you know, I've been knowing him for years, man, since I was rapping on the train, and I always like work with Young Blood. And when I found out that Sean Price, rest in peace, Sean Price took him under his wing, that made me even more happy, bro. The stories I could tell you about Sean Price, man, rest in peace, bro.
Oh, what up? What
man,
up?
Bro,
big up to Bernadette. She's good people.
Man, salute my sister Bernadette,
What
man.
up?
Love her, man.
What up?
No, well, this is what happened, right? He came to Chicago. He did a show out here, and it was him, the group that I was working with, Mass Hysteria, who was dope as fuck. Rusty Jux, Master Ace, and Mrs. Strickland. So my boys from Master Stereo, they want to pick Sean Price up. We get at the club and stuff like that at Reggie's, because this is where the show happened at Reggie's. So I'm chilling with Sean P. You know, we chopping it up, talking about martial art movies, because Sean P into the martial art movies, he into the Japanese animation, all that shit.
Right.
So a few minutes later, Sean P walked out, you know, saying while the show going on. So all of a sudden, all I heard was some couple of screaming and loud shit going on outside. So my boy hit me like, yo, what the fuck going on, right? We go outside, man. Sean Price get into it with some couple of 5% niggas out here. They got into a fist fight. Sean Price whooped one of their ass, like literally put hands on him. Then he walked back in the club and rocked on the mic like ain't shit happened. So I'm looking like, damn, dude, like what the fuck? Me and Rusty Jux and Master Stereo, we started looking at each other like, damn, dude, like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So Sean Price, he texted me the next day like, man, GQ, man, fuck that, man. I love Chicago, but I ain't coming out here no more, man, because like every time I come out here, man, it look like I get into one of these niggas out here, blah, blah, blah. But then Sean Price came in contact with a good friend of mine out here. He in the music world too. His name Hustle Simmons. And Hustle Simmons was telling him like, man, bro, you know, he's saying you good out here in Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying? Come out here. So when he came out here, he got a link up with Vic Spencer. And I think it, you know, he took Vic under his wing like, man, I fuck with dude. And ever since then, that's how him and Vic Spencer had their good relationship and stuff like that.
Oh,
But Vic, you know, I always been a big fan of Vic, man. It's like me and him, we always chopped it up on a train, and he was always asking me like, what's the latest on the hip hop scene? Because I used to work at a record store here in Chicago as well too, called Dr. Wax. I used to work at Dr. Wax Records, and I've been working there for 5 years. And it used to be me and my brother Dwayne Powell's, and people, you know what I'm saying, they always like came up to me like, you know, one by recommendation, like, man, what's good on the underground hip hop scene? And, you know, I told, you know, Vic was asking me like, man, like who I could fuck with on the hip hop scene. So I put him up on Little Brother, like, man, you need to check out Little Brothers, and you need to check out this hip hop group from overseas named Jazz Liberators.
Mm.
And, you know, ever since then, man, you know, he's one of my favorite MCs. I know you was asking me like some of the MCs here in Chicago, apart from Common and stuff. You familiar with Fillmore Green?
Yeah, I am familiar with him. I think he just did a project recently with
Apollo Brown.
Apollo Brown, I think, right? Yeah.
Fillmore, that dude is, you know, I work with Fillmore. I work with Vic Spencer. I work with this other cat named God MC, who's a dope MC.
Okay.
I know you're familiar with Vakil.
I've heard of the name.
Vakil, he used to be with the Mo. You remember the Mole Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to be with the Mole Man and stuff like that. He did stuff with the Mole Man. He did stuff with Planet Asia, Cali, you know, Cali Agent, etc. Right. MC Juice, I know you're familiar with him. He battled Eminem. You know, this cat named Akbar, even though he's not from Chicago, Akbar originally from the Bronx, but he came to Chicago in 1985, and he used to work with this cat. You know Fred One?
Yeah. Gorilla Groups.
Yep. Fred, hey, I've been knowing Fred. Hey, Fred, that's my brother, man. Been knowing Fred for 31 years. Met him back in 92. Yeah, met him back in 92, 93. And I met him through Duro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, man, I wanted to bring this up to you, man, because I know you got a good relationship with him as well, too. I wanted to bring it up to you, my brother Bus Crates.
Oh, yeah. Big up.
I met, you know, Bus Crates. I met Bus Crates in 1995.
Word?
Yeah. And how I got up on Bus Crates, you know, one of my friends, this producer from Chicago, dope producer, his name Kenny Keys. Kenny Keys, he worked with Sky Zoo and Tall Black Guy and all these cats. He put me up on Bus Crates through MySpace. This is when MySpace was popping. And I heard Bus Crates shit, and I'm like, this nigga this nigga's an alien.
Yeah, man. So for those who don't know, Bus Crates is a musician out of, I'm gonna call him a musician out of Pittsburgh, which is where I'm currently based. I met him when I moved here. He uses a lot of synth stuff. His funky sound. He's just funky. I mean, you got to take a shower after listening to Bus Crates, man. Like he's funky. he can do a lot of different stuff. I mean, he's just brilliant, and
yeah, he's definitely one of them. He definitely one of them.
Yeah, he's a throwback. Like if you like, I mean, the funk shit. So if you're from Jersey and you're on some Jersey funk, you know what I mean? Like, like funky, this, like, this, he's gonna, he's for you.
I'm
So
tell you who Bus Crates remind me. I told him this so many times, man. Like Bus Crates remind me of two of my favorite producers, man. Who you familiar with? Bus Crates remind me of DJ Spinner.
Yep.
And,
you said that, yeah.
And he remind me of Dame. You know who Dame Funk is?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Bus Crate put me in the mind of Spinner and Dame Funk, and I always give my flowers to Bus and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Big up to another super producer, said G, join on the motherfucking shit.
Oh man, said G, Ultra Magnetic
Max,
MCs.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute,
flowers what flowers do. People don't know. You know what I'm saying? Need to recognize. So, because I was a graph head too, so I want to know what was the graph scene like in Chicago, like, because I know because the trains are there. There's an elevator. So like when people get up on trains, like what was it like going on out there?
Well, it's crazy. The graph scene in my days was popular, especially like on the north side and the west side of Chicago. It was popular on the south side too, but more on the north side and west side with cats like out here you had cats like Slang and Orko and Trickster and my boy Nerd. Nerd used to be in the same group that I was in, Prophets of Rage, J4F and Uncle Hex. Uncle Heckle, rest in peace. Uncle Heck used to be with X-Men out here. You know what I'm saying? Diamond D was out there for his birthday party. Rest in peace. But the graph scene out, it's still popping, but it ain't live like how it was back in my era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the early 90s, 91, 92. You know what I'm saying? It ain't popping like that.
Yeah, you can say that about a lot of shit, to be honest with you. All right, so I got a few just quick questions for just curious to just wanted to pick your brain on some shit. What's the best show you've ever been to? I know it's
the best show I've been to.
Or one of the best ones.
It's crazy because by me working at 106 Jams radio station with Pink House, I've been at so many concerts and shows. But my best one that I had to go to twice, believe it or not, was Prince.
Okay. Nah, I mean I believe it. I mean Prince, that's fucking
dude, Prince. What? I saw Prince twice. I saw Prince at the United Center where the Bulls play at, and I saw them at Park West. And dude, I'm talking about when at the United Center, the way he came out on the stage, he had the symbol. Remember the symbol Prince used to have, right? That was the stage, and he came up from underneath the ground, and he rode on the stage with the same motorcycle that he had in Purple Rain.
Oh.
Yeah. He rode up on the stage, and it was purple confetti's coming out of the ceiling and balloons. And he had an all-female band, killed it. One of the chicks was Sheila E. Sheila E was with him. She's still a bit, bro. She at the age of she got to be what, in her 60s. She's still dangerous on the drums, man. Like
she still look fire too. Like
yeah, she's still fine as hell too. But yeah, he came out, he did his thing, and then he was like, man, I want to bring two special guests out on the stage. So I'm thinking he's going to bring out Morris Day or somebody on the stage. He brought out Janelle Monáe and Lettucey on the stage with him.
Oh.
And they both of them bodied it. They killed it, man. I'm talking about this, the Janelle Monáe I'm talking about was before she started going off into all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that was another one of my dope favorite shows that I was at was actually got to hang out with Gangstar, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to hang out with Guru. Got to hang out with Guru and DJ Premier and my boy Ronadeb and George Daniels. And it was just fun hanging around. You know, I've been knowing Premier and Guru now for 31 years. If Guru was alive, it would have been 31 years. I've been knowing these cats, man. And Premier always been beautiful dude, man. Good dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when you know, when I was in the hospital last year, Primo was actually one of the guys that actually kind of like text me, check up on me and stuff like that. You know, make sure you know I was straight and stuff like that, because you know I was in the hospital like for like a month and a half.
Yeah. So that's real shit right there, man. So, and that's a nice lead into what I wanted to ask you, man, because I've been very vocal about you know, a lot of these legends that are pieces of shit, to be quite honest and frank about it. You know what I'm saying? And you probably bumped into some too. You know, and you've been around this shit a lot longer than I have, as far as on a more intimate level. And so I've been very vocal about it. And so, but I wanted to take the opportunity, because there's also some good cats in this motherfucking game too. And I wanted to take the opportunity to share, for you to share. I was going to ask, you know, so who's the realest? You know, who? I mean, you can just say who are some of the good guys in this shit, man. That's what I was gonna say. Who's the realest person? But I'm gonna ask you just like, who's some of the good people in this shit that you've come across and that you consider just good people? Fuck the music, you know what I mean? Like, just people.
DJ Premier.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but good things about Primo. Nothing. He gave my man like a birthday shout out. Like, he's that
Primo,
dude.
Man, love Primo. Him, Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe. That's my brother right there. You know, he actually called me on my birthday from Japan. He was with Adrian Young in Japan, and he hit me up, was like, man, GQ, happy birthday, fellow Leo. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always had a good relationship with Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Jerobi from Tribe Called Quest. Who else? House Shoes from Detroit, Dilla homie. Hex Murder from Detroit, Dilla homie. Elzai, the brother we talking Elzai. Good relationship with that brother, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Wise Intelligent. That's my good dude, man. Wise Intelligent.
No.
Cool Herc. I got a good, you know, even up to this moment, I still chop it up with Cool Herc. I could tell you a crazy story about me and Cool Herc, man.
Oh, word.
I went on tour with Cool Herc.
Oh, what?
And, yeah. I went on tour with Cool Herc. We you know, me, Cool Herc, my boy SP1, we you know what I'm saying, and we went to St. Louis. And Cool Herc, man, dude, you know, I don't smoke. I don't smoke or drink. Dude, I bullshit you not, man. I saw Cool Herc did 100 push-ups on his knuckles, non-stop, with a blunt in his mouth. And I'm looking, you know, he had his like both of his foot on the top of the truck, the van, and doing push-ups on his knuckles. And I'm looking at my boy like, is this motherfucker? I'm like, you see this shit? I'm like, I can't even do no damn 100 push-ups. And I'm talking about, he did 100 push-ups non-stop on his knuckles, bro. I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, now I see why this nigga call himself Cool Herc.
What?
Yeah. But I just learned, you know, I learned a lot. You know, I learned a lot from the OG too, man. He's one of the good dudes. Another good brother, man, that got a lot of love for him, man. And he was another brother that checked up on me when I was in the hospital. Was Bumpy Knuckles, Freddie Fox.
Yeah, Freddie Fox, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I could tell you a crazy story about him too when I first met him.
He does a lot of. He works with my man DJ NUT out in New York. So yeah.
He had did a show here in Chicago. My boy Rude One, this cat named DJ Rude One, he had brought him to do a show out here in Chicago. So when I first met him, I didn't recognize that it was Freddie Fox because he had a hoodie over his face, so I couldn't really see his face. So I see this big swole ass motherfucker at the front door. I'm thinking it's the damn bouncer at the nightclub or security or some shit like that, right? So I walked up to the dude and I gave my ID to him. And he looked at me. He was like, dude, what the fuck you giving me your ID for? And I was like, damn, bro, ain't you the security? You know, you want to see my ID? He like, nigga, I don't work here. I'm like, nigga, I'm Freddie Fox. And he pulled his hoodie down. I was like,
great introduction too. Like, I mean, like that's not the introduction you probably want to have.
Nah, it ain't, man. And I was like, I felt so embarrassed, man. But see, what it was, like I said, I didn't recognize who he was because he had the hoodie over his face, so I couldn't see him. But dude, he's not just only a dope MC. He dope on the DJing. He know how to DJ. He could DJ his ass off, man.
Yeah.
And he could make beats too. He dope on the production.
Word.
You know, when I was in the hospital, man, he was one of the dudes that like literally check up on me, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
It's like, small, man. You know, it's like it been between me and you have been rough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because of my health issue, and it's like even when I was in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? What happened was this nurse injected stuff in my IV called Boomex, and what Boomex does is it bring your blood pressure down and the swelling out of your foot down, but the side effects is it make you dizzy. And the nurse tried to warn me like, yo, do not get up out of your bed without pressing the button so I could help you. But I forgot she told me that, and I called myself, went to go use the washroom, and I blacked out. I hit my head against the table, I bust my lip, and I knocked out all my front teeth. So it's like now, after I finish doing my dialysis, I get kind of like lightheaded and dizzy. So now I got to start walking around. The doctor said I need to start walking around with a cane. So that's the reason why I'm like this. But before that, I used to be health conscious, man. I used to work at a health food store. I used to drink, my wheatgrass, shots of wheatgrass, and Irish sea moss and black seed oil and all that shit, man. But shit got rough, man. When I got laid off my job, then I broke up with my ex-girl. Then somebody hacked my bank account and took $6,000 out of my bank account. All that shit started coming down on me, and man, my blood pressure just started getting high, and that's how I end up having kidney and heart failure right now.
So how are you doing with that, man? I mean, like, because we got to wrap it up soon because I got another show right after this. But that is something I wanted to ask you about. You know what I'm saying? Like how, because that's the real shit. You fuck the music and everything. Like, how are you doing it, and how, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you doing?
So far, I feel good. I'm gonna put it to you like this: when I listen to music and I'm around my music family and friends, or anything dealing with animation or martial arts or whatever, I feel good.
Your passions, yeah.
Yeah, my passion, and I feel good. When I'm at the crib by myself, though, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes I border. Sometimes I get a little depressed.
Yeah, it makes sense though.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be trying to find, go out to different functions and try to mingle around people that's into the same thing I'm into. But for the most part, I'm okay, man. I'm still here.
Yeah, nah, man. And so, I appreciate you being candid about it and just, like on some real shit, man. one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. And you know, and I'll say this, man, I deal with depression and anxiety as well, like for different reasons. Do what you need to do always to take care of yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are always need to be the fucking priority right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if
Yes,
it's
sir.
if you need to eat somewhere, if you need to bring a fucking Cliff Bar with you, if you need to like bounce, if you need to leave a situation, if you need to go somewhere, if you need to like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real talk, man. Like,
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate
take care of
you for
you.
even. I appreciate
Take care of you.
I appreciate you for even telling me that, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
fam. It's bigger than anything, man. It's bigger than this is bigger, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to build with you more, you know what I'm saying, about this stuff. But I want to have you on again because this is important to share. Like, you have stories that nobody's fucking heard. Big up Fillmore Green joining in. We just about to end this shit. So you have stories that nobody's ever heard. You have experiences and stuff like that. And like I said, I wanted to take the time to, I considered you my homie, but I wanted to get to know you a little bit better.
Yes, sir.
And so
Thank
this was
you, man.
important,
Thank
man.
you, man, bro. Thank you for having me, and I want to give my flowers to you, man. Always been a fan of your work. Keep representing that real hip hop, man. Like I said, whatever help you need from me, man. If I could pull the string and connect the dots, just let me know, man.
I appreciate
you my
it.
fan.
I want to build in the next step for us. You know what I'm saying? You're in Chicago, I'm in Pittsburgh. We're not that far away, so I want to build in the physical. I want to get out there when it's not too cold, but I want to get out there and link up. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit.
Definitely.
Whatever. And then
Definitely, bro.
hopefully, maybe if we do one in the spring, the next one we do in the spring, we can do it live in person.
Definitely. You know? Plus, I want to introduce you to my brothers, man. I want to introduce you to Fillmore Green and Vic Spencer, man.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. I've traveled a lot, been around, you know what I'm saying, a lot of spots, but I've never really chilled. I was only in Chicago for a hot minute when I was young. I've never chilled there. I've never been able to chill there, nothing like that. I was on the lake for a minute, but that was, you know what I'm saying, that was it. So I want to, yeah. So let's do it, man. I'm excited to stay in touch and you know what I'm saying, springboard this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, thank you, bro. Love, man.
Yo, salute to everybody joining in 1 minute. We go live with our people, Save the Hip Hop Culture. We're doing Under the Radar. We're playing 5 joints each that you may or may not have heard. New joints, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
let you know that this music is still alive. We got GQ Tha Teacha, right? What you want to say? What up?
I meant to tell you, by the way, if you get a chance, man, that email I sent you,
I gotta peep that.
Yeah, check him out, man. He's one of my favorite, producers from Canada. He's very eloquent. Yeah, he's with Mellow Music Group. Dope.
Yeah, now Mellow Music Group, they be on their shit, man. So
definitely.
I already know. So I want to thank you, man. We're gonna get this up on the YouTube, edit it, chop it up and stuff like that. Stay in touch. And rock with us next week. We got Brother Jay on for Constant Elevation, man. So thank you again, brother. Let's stay in touch, man.
We'll do, for sure.
All right, salute to everybody joining in. Y'all, peace.